3.
Okay. Now the basics regarding the ellipse already we have done in the previous class. Now let's discuss x square by a square plus y square b square is equal to 1. This is the standard equation of an ellipse, and we are assuming that this equation is given to us. Using this equation, we are supposed to calculate all the properties regarding this ellipse. That means these are the terms related to ellipse. Remember, I am assuming that somebody has given me the equation and I am supposed to calculate everything about this ellipse. Now, first of all, we are supposed to know what are the terms related to a given ellipse. The first thing is, what is the center of the ellipse? Of course, if that is the equation here, center happens to be the origin. This is x-axis, this is the y-axis, and the point of intersection is origin. And if this is the equation, then origin will be the center of the ellipse. Then there is a term called vertex. Now, see here, A and A dash, these are the 2 points on the x-axis, and these 2 points are called vertex of the ellipse. And of course, obviously from the figure it is obvious that the vertex A has a coordinate a comma 0. It is on positive x-axis, and another vertex A dash will have coordinate minus a comma 0, and A can be calculated from the given equation here. So this is the one vertex, this is the another vertex, a comma 0 and minus a comma 0. That is the x-axis. So here vertex is on the x-axis. Then there is something called focus. Already we have discussed, in case of if there are 2 foci, one is S, other is S dash. This is the center, this is the focus, this is the vertex. Again, center, focus, vertex. Now the question is, what is the coordinate of first focus? S. It is always A, E, comma 0. A is the eccentricity. And the second focus, S dash, always minus A, E, comma 0. From here, if somebody is interested in calculating what is the distance between these two focus, it is of course AE plus A, geometrical distance. That should be nothing but twice AE. Obviously remember the distance of the focus from the center is always AE. So this distance is AE and this distance is also AE. So the distance between the two focus is nothing but S dash is nothing but AE plus AE, that is equal to twice AE. So we have done what is the focus, what is the vertex. Then comes directrix. Of course we know directrix is a line which is perpendicular to the major axis. I will discuss what is the major axis, what is the minor axis. In this situation, x-axis is the major axis. So this is the line which is perpendicular to the major axis, and this line is called directrix. Similarly, there is another directrix here. Again, it is perpendicular to the major axis. Now the question is, what is the equation of these two directrix? The equation of directrix, or practically, if I am interested in this quantity, that is coordinate of z, it is always a by e comma 0. That is these coordinates, the point of intersection of the directrix and the major axis. Similarly, z dash, that is another one, it should be minus a by e comma 0. Or if somebody is interested, what is the equation of directrix? Again, remember, directrix are always perpendicular to the major axis, or it is parallel to the minor axis. So their equations will be x is equal to, I can say, plus minus a by e. There are two lines parallel to y axis. One is x is equal to a by e, other is x is equal to minus a by e. So we have done directrix. Then comes axis of an ellipse. Of course, there are two axes. One is called major axis, other is called minor axis. Now, x-axis, the major axis, because this length a dash is twice a, and I am assuming a is greater than b. So this axis becomes major axis, and this axis becomes minor axis. And this major and minor taken together sometimes called principal axis. So whenever somebody says principal axis, that means we are interested in calculating both major axis as well as minor axis. Or somebody to tell me major or minor. Center already we have done. Now the next concept is, what is the diameter? Now if ellipse is given, any line passing through the center of the ellipse, let's say, assuming that this is the ellipse here, major axis, minor axis, this is the center, any line, let's say I am drawing a line passing through the center, so this is one diameter. Any line passing through the center, this is another diameter. So we can say diameter is a line which is passing through the center of the ellipse. That is called diameter of the ellipse. Then comes chord and focal chord. Let's say this is the ellipse here. Draw the rough sketch of the ellipse. One focus, another focus. Any chord. Chord means if you take any points on the ellipse. Let's say I am taking point A here, point B here. If I connect this AB, then AB is nothing but chord. So chord is a straight line connecting any 2 points on the given ellipse. But if this chord passes through any one of the focus, then this becomes focal chord. For example, something like this. Maybe A dash, B dash. Again, this is a line connecting 2 points on the ellipse, but this line is passing through the focus, so it is a focal chord. So chord is a straight line connecting any 2 points on the ellipse, but if this line happens to passing through the focus, either S or S dash, then this becomes focal chord. Same concept was in ellipse. So that is called focal chord. Then comes double ordinate. Now double ordinate is basically, if let's say this is the ellipse here, x-axis, y-axis. If you draw any line perpendicular to the major axis, let's say CD, it is a line which is perpendicular to the major axis, then this straight line CD is called double ordinate. Why it is called double ordinate? Because this distance is equal to this distance. So the y-axis length here and y-axis length here, both are equal, so it is called double ordinate. Ordinate means y-coordinate. Then comes latus rectum. Now latus rectum is a special type of focal chord. Now see the original figure here. I have already drawn this ellipse here. Now L dash is a focal chord. Why? Because it is passing through the focus. But most important, it is also perpendicular to the major axis. So a focal chord which is perpendicular to the major axis is always called latus rectum. So here L dash will be the latus rectum here. So we can say this straight line is called latus rectum. So latus rectum is nothing but a focal chord which is perpendicular to the major axis of the ellipse. Most of the time we are interested in what is this length L dash, and we know that what is this coordinate. This coordinate is AE. So I can calculate what is the y coordinate. I can calculate what is this y coordinate. Both are same. If we calculate, it happens to be this quantity. Twice b square by a, which is already given in the theory book, which is available to you. And practically, if you put this value here, this becomes twice a 1 minus e square. So most of the time we are interested in what is this coordinate, what is this length, what is this length, what is the equation of latus rectum. Then we know it is a straight line parallel to y-axis passing through the focus. So equation, length and coordinate of L and LS can be calculated. Then comes focal radii. Now it is a straight line connecting any point on the ellipse to the focus. For example, let's say P is a point and S is the focus, then PS is the focal radii. Similarly, PS is another focal radii. So if we connect any straight line connecting any one of the focus to the particular point on the ellipse, that becomes focal radii. And in case of ellipse, let's say P is a point, then PS is one focal radii and PS dash is another focal radii, and sum of these two is always twice A, and this is nothing but length of major axis. This sum is always fixed quantity. Okay, it is one of the property of the ellipse. And finally, that is called eccentricity. Eccentricity of the ellipse. Mathematically, it is given by this quantity. Remember, P always satisfies this restriction in case of ellipse. And this quantity A already calculated from the given equation, that is nothing but length of major axis, or we can say length of semi-major axis, because twice A is the length of major axis. Semi means half, and this B is nothing but length of semi-minor axis. So these are the terms related to ellipse. Ultimately, what we are supposed to do, if anybody is given some standard equation, x square by a square plus y square b square is equal to 1, where a and b are positive constant and I am assuming a is greater than b. In that particular situation, we are supposed to calculate this so many information, like what is the focus, what is the vertex, what is the center, directrix, axis, center, diameter, chord, focal chord, latus rectum, double ordinate, focal radii, and eccentricity. So these are the basic terms that we are supposed to calculate if some equation of ellipse is given. And for easy understanding, I have taken most common standard equation of the ellipse. Okay. Now this equation will changing depending what is given in the question, but this property remains constant, but their numerical value will depend what is the equation given to me. Now in the next class, we go to the another type of ellipse. Okay.